The rain-slicked streets of Brooklyn gleamed under the sodium glow of street lamps. But Alex Harper couldn't see them through the blur of tears and fury. He'd waited 12 years for Jordan Hale to notice him, not as the awkward kid next door, but as the man who'd loved him in silence. A love that burned like a hidden coal in his chest. Tonight, as Jordan's luxury SUV idled at the curb, oblivious to the figure slipping into the shadows, Alex made his choice: vanish, and let the void scream what words never could. It started in the sticky summer of 2013, when Alex was 16 and the world still felt like a promise wrapped in possibility. Their families lived side by side in a row of brownstones on a quiet street in Park Slope, where the air hummed with the laughter of block parties and the distant rumble of the subway. Jordan, for years older, was the golden boy, captain of the high school soccer team, with a smile that could disarm a room and eyes like storm-tossed seas. Alex had idolized him from the first moment, trailing after him like a shadow during those endless afternoons in the shared backyard. Jordan would ruffle Alex's hair, call him kid, and toss him a baseball mitt. But there was always that barrier. Invisible yet impenetrable, Jordan's easy charm with girls. His plans for Columbia and a life in the city that Alex could only dream of touching. Alex knew he was different even then. The crushes on boys in his class. The way his heart stuttered when Jordan stripped off his shirt after a game. Sweat glistening on his tanned skin. It all twisted inside him like a secret he wasn't ready to name. He buried it deep, content to bask in Jordan's orbit. But as the years stretched, that contentment frayed. Jordan went off to college, came home for holidays with stories of frat parties and budding romances, each one a knife twist for Alex, who was navigating his own coming out in hushed whispers to a school counselor who barely listened. By the time Alex turned 20, Jordan was back in Brooklyn, climbing the ladder at a tech startup, his life a whirlwind of networking events and late-night pitches. Alex, meanwhile, scraped by as a barista in a cozy cafe on Fifth Avenue, scribbling poetry in the margins of order pads, his dreams of writing deferred like a bad check. They still saw each other, family barbecues, chance run-ins at the corner deli, but Jordan's attention had shifted. He was too busy conquering the world to notice the man Alex had become, lean and thoughtful, with ink-stained fingers and a quiet fire in his hazel eyes. Alex tried. God, he tried. A tentative confession over beers one humid night in 2019, when Jordan was nursing a breakup. I've always felt something for you, Alex had stammered, heart hammering like a war drum. Jordan had laughed it off, clapped him on the shoulder. You're like my little brother. Alex, don't go getting weird on me. The rejection landed like a slap. But Alex swallowed it, rebuilt his walls higher. He dated others, fleeting connections with artists and musicians who saw his vulnerability as a canvas, but none filled the ache Jordan had carved. Years blurred into a rhythm of avoidance. Jordan's career skyrocketed. By 2025, he was CEO of Hale Innovations, a sleek firm turning AI into gold, his face on billboards overlooking Times Square. Alex poured his soul into a novel, self-published to modest acclaim, but the royalties barely covered rent. Their interactions dwindled to polite nods at mutual friends' weddings, where Jordan arrived with arm candy, models, executives, always men now, after his own quiet coming out in a glossy magazine profile that Alex read in secret, tears blurring the words. I'm finally free to love who I want, Jordan had said in the interview. Alex wondered if that freedom extended to the boy he'd overlooked. The breaking point came on a crisp October evening, the kind where the leaves crunch underfoot like brittle memories. Alex was closing the cafe, the scent of espresso lingering like regret, when his phone buzzed. Jordan's name on the screen, rare enough to jolt him. "Hey, kid. Long time. Drinks? My treat. Need to pick your brain on something." Alex's pulse raced. Pick his brain? After years of radio silence? He agreed, against every instinct screaming retreat. They met at a dimly lit bar in Williamsburg, the kind with exposed brick and craft cocktails that tasted like forgotten promises. Jordan looked every inch the success story, tailored blazer hugging his broad shoulders, a Rolex glinting under the low lights, his dark hair just touched with silver at the temples. At 35, he was more magnetic than ever, the lines around his eyes speaking of battles won and nights lost. Alex, 28 and feeling every unrequited day, had chosen a simple black sweater and jeans. His only armor, the faint stubble he'd let grow to hide his boyish face. They talked shop at first, Jordan's latest venture, an app revolutionizing mental health for queer youth. "It's personal," Jordan admitted, swirling his whiskey. "After everything. I get it now. The hiding." Alex nodded, throat tight, waiting for the shoe to drop. But never did. Jordan steered clear of the past, probing Alex's writing instead. "Heard your book's doing well. Proud of you." Man, the words were kind, but they landed hollow. A consolation prize for the love Alex had offered and lost. As the night wore on, the bar emptied, leaving them in a bubble of shared history. Jordan's knee brushed Alex's under the table, accidental. Surely, and neither pulled away. Heat bloomed in Alex's chest, old flames licking at scars. "Why now?" Alex finally asked, voice raw. "After all this time, why reach out?" Jordan leaned back, shadows playing across his face. "Life's short. Lost too many people to bullshit pride. Figured we could be friends. Real ones. Friends." The word was a gut punch. Alex forced a smile, drained his gin, and excused himself to the restroom. In the mirror, his reflection stared back, pale, haunted, a man who'd spent years orbiting a star that never warmed him. Enough. He didn't say goodbye. Slipped out the back, into the rain that had started to fall, a curtain of silver veils hiding his escape. His apartment was a 15-minute walk, but he didn't go home. Instead, he veered toward the bridge, the Brooklyn Queens expanse that always called when his heart splintered. He stood there, wind whipping his hair, watching the East River churn below like his thoughts, dark, relentless, vanish. The idea crystallized, sharp as shattered glass. Not forever, maybe, but long enough to make Jordan feel the echo of absence. By dawn, Alex was gone. He packed a duffel the night before, just clothes, his laptop, a photo of them as kids, grinning under a backyard sprinkler, a one-way ticket to a small town upstate, where an old college friend had a cabin by the lake. No note, no trace. His phone went dark, socials deleted in a frenzy of clicks. The world shrank to the hum of the Greyhound bus, carrying him north into the Adirondacks, where pines whispered secrets and the lake mirrored a sky vast enough to drown regrets. Back in the city, Jordan woke to a pounding headache and an empty bar stool where Alex should have been. He texted, "You bail on me? Call me." Hours passed. Nothing. A flicker of unease stirred. Alex wasn't the type to ghost. By evening, it gnawed deeper. Jordan paced his penthouse loft in Chelsea, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the glittering skyline that suddenly felt cold. He called mutual friends. "Seen Alex? He ditched last night." Laughter at first, probably buried in his next book, but Jordan's gut twisted. This wasn't right. Days blurred into a haze. Jordan's assistant fielded meetings while he scoured Alex's last known spots. The cafe, shuttered for renovations. The bookstore where Alex did readings. Empty shelves mocking him. Social media ghosts. Old posts of Alex's sunlit smiles. A beach selfie from last summer that Jordan had liked without thinking. Never commenting. Regret seeped in, slow as ink and water. Why had he ignored the signs? The way Alex's gaze lingered. The hurt in his eyes that night years ago. Jordan had been scared, terrified of what loving his little brother might mean. Of appending the life he'd built on denial. On day 5, panic set in. Jordan hired a private investigator. A grizzled ex-cop named Ruiz who specialized in the disappeared. Kid's an adult. Ruiz grunted over coffee in a diner off Flatbush. But yeah, no digital footprint? That's deliberate. Jordan's jaw clenched. He threw money at it. Hacked bank records showing a bus ticket to Albany. A cash withdrawal in Saratoga Springs. Upstate. The word echoed like a lifeline. He drove north himself. The sleek Audi devouring miles as autumn leaves blazed in fiery protest. His mind replayed fragments. Alex at 16. Defending him in a schoolyard scrap. Alex at 22. Toasting Jordan's promotion with eyes full of unspoken want. How had he been so blind? Success had armored him. But it cracked now, revealing the hollow man beneath. By nightfall, he reached the cabin's vicinity, a ramshackle place on Lake George. Ruiz's lead panning out from a vague rental listing. The woods were thick, twilight bleeding into night. Jordan's flashlight cut through the gloom, boots crunching on pine needles that smelled of earth and evasion. His heart thundered, a drumbeat of fear and fierce need. Alex, the name tore from him, raw and ragged, swallowed by the trees. Silence answered. Then a rustle, a shadow shifting by the water's edge. Alex emerged from the boathouse, flannel shirt loose over jeans, hair wild from the wind. His face, illuminated by the moon's pale kiss, was a map of guarded hope, eyes wary, but softening at the sight of Jordan, disheveled in his city coat, tie long discarded. "What the hell are you doing here?" Jordan closed the distance in 3 strides, breath coming in gasps. "Looking for you." "I've been, God." "Alex, I've torn the city apart." Upstate. The whole damn world. His voice broke, hands hovering as if afraid to touch. "You vanished. And I can't breathe without knowing you're okay. That we're okay." Alex's laugh was bitter, laced with salt. "Okay, after years of nothing, you call me kid, Jordan. Brush me off like lint. I'm done orbiting you." The words landed like blows. But Jordan didn't flinch. He stepped closer, the lake lapping at their feet like a confessional. "I was an idiot. Scared shitless of what you made me feel. Because it's not brotherly. Alex. It's everything. His hand found Alex's cheek, thumb tracing the line of his jaw, tentative as a prayer. I ignored you to protect myself. But losing you? That rips me open. I love you. Have for years. If I let myself see it. Time fractured there, under the stars wheeling above the water. Alex searched Jordan's face, those green eyes, stripped of pretense, raw with truth. The dam broke, tears spilled, and Alex surged forward, crashing their mouths together in a kiss born of famine. It was desperate, tasting of rain and revelation. Jordan's arms wrapping around him like an anchor. They sank to the damp grass, bodies aligning in a dance long denied, whispers of sorry and stay mingling with the night's hush. But dawn brought reality's sharp edge. Jordan had to return to the city, board meetings, a life he couldn't abandon. Come back with me, he urged, fingers laced with Alex's as they packed the duffel. We'll figure it out. Together. Alex hesitated, the pull of independence warring with a warmth blooming in his chest. What if it's just the chase, the thrill of the lost thing found? Jordan cupped his face. Fierce. Then I'll spend every day proving it's more. You're not a thing. Alex. You're my heart. They drove south as the sun crested, hands intertwined over the gear shift, the Adirondacks fading like a dream. Brooklyn welcomed them with its chaotic embrace, horns blaring, sidewalks teeming. Jordan's loft became their sanctuary, walls echoing with laughter and low confessions. Alex's novel found a publisher, bolstered by Jordan's quiet belief. Jordan, in turn, softened his edges, delegating the empire to steal mornings tangled in sheets. Yet shadows lingered. Jordan's ex, a sharp-tongued venture capitalist named Liam, surfaced with veiled threats, leaked emails hinting at corporate sabotage if Jordan didn't reconsider distractions. The pressure mounted, late nights at the office. Jordan's smile strained. Alex felt the old fear creep in. Would success eclipse them again? The climax shattered on a stormy December night. Liam cornered Jordan at a gala in Midtown, champagne flutes clinking like accusations. He's a phase. Hail. That barista boy, he'll drag you down. Jordan's fist clenched, but he walked away, storming into the rain to find Alex at home, hunched over his laptop, words flowing like blood from a wound. I almost lost you tonight, Jordan said, shedding his soaked tuxedo, vulnerability etching his features. Not to him. To my own damn fear. Alex rose, pulling him close. Then don't. Choose us. Every day, they made love through the thunder, bodies a testament to resilience, hearts sinking in the storm's roar. Morning brought clarity. Jordan fired Liam's firm, went public with their story in a TED Talk that went viral. Love isn't a distraction. It's the code that runs us. The world watched, some with cheers, others with sneers, but they stood unbowed. Spring unfurled in cherry blossoms along the promenade. Alex's book launch a quiet triumph. Jordan at his side, hand in the small of his back. They adopted a rescue dog, a scruffy mutt named Echo, who bounded through their life like joy unbound. Years of silence had forged something unbreakable, a love that had vanished only to be reclaimed. Heaven and earth moved in its name. In the end, it wasn't the grand gestures that held them, but the small ones, Coffee brewed at dawn. Notes slipped into pockets. Eyes meeting across crowded rooms with the promise of home. Alex learned forgiveness wasn't forgetting, but choosing Jordan. That true power lay in vulnerability.
I spent years chasing
Together,
shadows, ignoring
they
what was
wove a
right here.
tapestry of
Don't
what
let
could
the
be
silence
raw,
win, please.
real,
I need to know if we can
redemptive.
survive this.